excuse me. I need to go in.
It's over. The board meeting's over.
Okay, but I left a thing with the security office.
Okay.
That's why I want to come in. Yeah, thanks.
You left something?
Yeah, with y'all. Something important. I didn't realize pepper spray. Yeah, it's. I was like, I look at that. I was like, it's kind of rough and it's late at night. I think I might need it.
Yes, I believe you might.
Thank you, man.
Have a good night.
All right. I hope we made a difference. You know.
I hope y'all did too.
All right. Thanks.
Have a good night. All right, now take care.
That's the way most
Okay.
places are.
Sorry.
But you know, sometimes you can buy like those combination packs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They have a little bit cheaper, but don't. You have to remember that Texas is not New York. You
Yeah.
have people from different areas, like Texas.
Okay. Hope I didn't make a serious mistake.
feel yourself. Your time, I ain't going nowhere like that. That's hell. I don't want to eat.
You know, all these years I've never, of course, never been here at night. There's a good reason for that.
They had giant yeah. Because I know the answer to why you don't
Oh, wait. Hey. Ma'am? Let you get through there. Pardon me? Yeah, of course there'd be an asshole coming by. You couldn't even tell this is a crosswalk because it ain't painted. Why did I get off here? Because there's no way in hell I'm going anywhere near community at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll take my chances with Bachman Lake. Intimacy of the night. Well, I went over there and just had diarrhea of the mouth. It's amazing how I'm so used to having a long period of time to talk, and I just kind of got up there and said, look, people talk about the quantity of traffic. They also forget to mention the quality of traffic. And I mean, there's so much other stuff that has been said. There's people who need that. People on dialysis. And the one lady broke down in tears because she had gone, and I knew what those tears were about. Those tears were about, we have been through so much. Just the hospital part of it. And I mean, that just drains you, going to appointments, scheduling, trying to get together with your doctor, trying to find a doctor, trusting your doctor, having friends and family that they'll be with you when you're in the ER, but they're not going to be with you when it comes to all the treatment stuff that you have to go through. They're already gone through all of that. And then to throw in the extra curveball of, oh, by the way, we're going to cut some of the routes that you guys have been depending on to get to your appointments. It's just too much. And what I was trying to mention in there was, I know people who, they can't ride around in our little area in northwest Dallas because they pretty much cut all the routes out. Now, that's what I wanted to say too, but I just blubbed through our and said what I said. I was tired. I have not been ready for this mental marathon that I've gone through today. I stupidly thought I'll probably just get in there in another 90 minutes. I don't think there will be that many people there. And it's a wonderful problem to have, don't get me wrong. I am glad all these people turned out. It means there's a chance for transit in Dallas. But I'm worried that we were just all kind of like talking to a brick wall or empty air. The one dude, he was sitting there, he couldn't be bothered to be there. He kept getting the guy in the bow tie, whatever his name was. I'm sure I can look up the name plaque again. He kept getting up, walking around. Now, for all I know, he might be the guy fighting for Dallas the most, and he already knows what to say. But I looked at a bunch of those people, and they looked like they had their mind made up. It sure would have been nice. It would have been nice if I was part of a group. I realized going there as an individual, you got South Dallas, all the people from South Dallas turning out and making their voices heard. And amazingly, all the people from Plano, basically it's just Democrats. Well, I mean, Yeah, no, that's actually Plano is a red city. But I was wondering if somebody was going to mention the thing about, I think it was Carl Mendelson that said it, basically saying that we get tired of Dallas dumping its trash into our neighborhoods. And that's really what this is about. This is part of Project 2021, where you don't think the public sector has any business trying competing or creating competition with the private sector, and the public sector creating competition with the private sector, and they just want to get rid of it. They want there to be companies that run buses and companies that, you know, do taxis, and basically Uber is going to take over for our transit problems in Dallas. And there's just no way in hell. Anyway, like they said, it's a thinly, racism in America is expensive. Trying to cut a major part of your country out of the day-to-day, out of the ability to freely move, is expensive. What are you thinking? I always ask myself that question. I just say it out loud for the cameras. What are you thinking? I think they're going to go forward with it because, like I said, they got the idiot in the White House. Project 2025. You saw what they did with the big bullshit bill. These are dark times indeed. It'd be funny if I got rained on again. That was crazy though. Oh man. Oh, I asked for a crosswalk here. They said, oh, give us 6 weeks. I think I could probably walk down Shorecrest. It'd be alright. Oh well. What are my reasons for doing this? Trying to stay off the roads. It looks like there's always some asshole on Shorecrest. Put in a noise complaint? Sure, why not? What When do you think they'll finally vote on it? I don't know, they'll table it for 3 months. Maybe this was just an attempt to see if they were putting forth this proposal to see how many people would fight for it. The reason I'm not hopeful is something like this, something similar to this happened in Irving, where they asked people, what do you think about us allowing this guy to build a casino over in the former Texas Stadium property? And the people came out there and said, hell no. Not just no, but hell no. And they were up there till 1 o'clock in the morning voicing their concerns. And then they tried to do like a last minute meeting to try to go around the will of the people over there. People found out about it and they gave them hell again. I'm not really sure what they're trying to turn Dallas into, but whatever it is, it's going to be a god-awful, ignorant mess if they get their way. Do they want people to leave Dallas? Okay. But all those jobs y'all keep talking about y'all can't fill will be even harder to fill when you got people just egressing the city in mass quantities. Anyway. Talking to myself here. 1 o'clock in the morning. Looking like the ultimate goober. Was the news media here? Looks like it was just a closed door meeting. I didn't see any like newscasters sitting there talking about the thing. I guess that should concern me. I know someone's going to say, I didn't see you on the news. I never on the news. Dallas doesn't really have news. You got WFAA, which is owned by a corporation that only really seems to report on things that interest the corporation. You got all those other ones, same difference. Corporate news. I don't know if anybody from the Dallas Observer was there. I know as far as being a transit rider, there's one night that you could not possibly ask for a worse night to be doing something like this. Yeah, they got hit pretty hard. Want to take a look at that? I do. I want to find out why this has been a problem since the police were here back when the Northwest Division was over here. It always floods over here. And I don't know if they have a proper drain over here. I'm halfway expecting some asshole to come zooming through here at super speed. Okay, there's a drain right there. Is that a drain? No. I mean, no. If it is, it's buried. I think there is a storm drain there, and it is utterly full. Alright. Yeah, I think the storm drain's right there. And it's clogged. I think I'm getting this on camera. That's where everything's supposed to go in, and it's not draining like it's supposed to. Oh, wow! Conveniently, it's what's the street address? I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's what I'm talking about right there. Meanwhile, they've had this sitting here for weeks. I came through here a month ago and this was sitting here, and I said, what did I say? I said, you know, I'm going to come back and this is still going to be like this. Like, what is it? 1 o'clock in the morning. And they still got flights coming in and out. One o'clock in the morning, they still got a flight from Southwest coming in. I guess we could put in a noise complaint real quick. Too late, man. Two Southwest Airlines jets, one taxiing off the runway and one landing. This was at 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all still had flights going on. No, I was just thinking, you know, since I don't feel safe going in El Centro this time of night, and the Spanish Breeze Apartments, knowing that mess over there, I am going to take the long way. I'm going to see what Shorecrest is all about. Now that they actually do have walk paths there, I'll take Shorecrest over to, you know, the same route I did yesterday. someone over there having a mental health episode. Everybody's got a story. Something that the officer said. I guess I could go on Northwest Highway. I should have gone on Northwest Highway. Ah well, too late now. That's all right. I think I see why they got the trail still closed off. Feels kind of weird to be able to walk down Shorecrest in the middle of the night. That was taxing. Like I said, my clothes are soaking wet. I was shivering like crazy because they couldn't get the air conditioning right. I woke up and I didn't eat anything, so I don't usually eat anything, so I've been sitting there basically fasting for 8 hours. All right. Well, is it 1:30? Good Lord. Okay, I was about to say it's 1:15. So they don't leave the lights on at Bachman, but for some reason they leave the lights on over here. Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm going to the Bachman branch this week. What was my plan? There was no plan. There was go to this thing, maybe it'll be a few hours, not 7 hours and some change of people being really pissed off that they're about to lose mobility in Dallas. But yeah, they'll probably go forward with their plan. Literally kill a bunch of people. Oh, there are gonna be so many people dead. Missing dialysis. But it's also the other thing where, like I said, someone's gonna say, look, I have to get there some way. So they drive and they're not supposed to be driving. Meanwhile, I can't get anybody to cut this. It feels weird now. I look over and I see that sign. Did it make a difference in that person getting ready to go on the exit? Can you even see this sign? I couldn't see it until I got past this part, so now you got vegetation blocking the sign. I'm not gonna start that fight. So what happened? Why did I get through there? Like, I expected to be there till like, I mean now. I thought I'd still be talking now. And I think it's because a lot of people just left. Like I said, the lady next to me, she said, I gotta go. And the guy, he goes, the CRE is gonna stop, I gotta go. And it's crazy to have this conversation and you're dependent on transit and you're gonna miss your train. Did I just pick up a spider? Looks like I did. Jumping spider, apparently, because she's dangling all up in my face. Curious as to what I'm doing. Guess I got me a new pet. Well, what I should have done was to go through this way. With my head, I was thinking, oh, well, I'd have to go through the homeless camp, but they got rid of it. Wait, where's the, no, this is what we want.
Wait to cross Northwest Highway at Marsh. Wait.
So somehow I had 12,000 steps. I don't know. I don't know how far it is. I told them it's 2 miles for me to walk over to the train station and walk and right down to the thing. Oh yeah, and then there was me walking a few blocks because they dropped me off at the wrong location. That whole thing was just crazy. My whole life is, it feels like I'm never watching the river flow by. I'm always the tree or the debris that's caught in the river. I wonder how long that'll sit there. I think someone's sleeping over here. Yeah. I tried to mess with them too much. Hoo hoo hoo. Those dedicated drunks. More people here today than there was yesterday. Yeah, my mom's gonna give me a tongue lashing. Boy! I smile, but I feel bad because, like I said, I should not make her stay up and wait and stay up and worry. She told me, why don't you just drive down there and drive back? I said, nah. I said, there's nowhere to park. They got the fire chief's car, but what they need is the EMTs. Dallas. This is what I'm talking about. I would not be hanging around the mess over at Spanish Breeze. I just don't understand why the fire department's here. I'm pretty sure that this is, like I said, someone had a medical whatever. Maybe he's all they got. I don't know, they usually sit in the fire department, and then after that the fire department sends, you know, it says, hey, the EMT's following, or they decide. Oh, maybe he's got the jaws of life. They got to cut somebody out. That might be what it is. It's the Borracho hour. I wonder what they slammed into this time. Oh shit, don't tell me there was a power outage. Well, then that would be Encore, right? Guess they're looking for somebody. They got the whole street blocked off. See, and I would have gone through that. And once again, that's by Spanish Breeze, so some stupid shit happened over here. It's always something, man. Alright. Well. Might have been a high-speed chase. They got the blocks cordoned off. Whoever it is, they're trying to get him to coax them out. Okay, well, that's a waste of my time. Oh. This whole thing is just going to be completely fucked up. Well, there's no damage on Marsh. Not like it's a hit and run. I don't know, man. It's Marsh lane, so you know, he just Northwest Dallas. Oh, he's got something going on. That's right, genius, you're gonna have to turn around. Oh, we got electricity. So they got rabbits even over at Foster. It looks like it must have rained all day. Yeah, all right. Looks like we got a good steady flow. hell is this? We're playing the shopping cart. You know, it's funny, there's a lot of things in this neighborhood that I need to put tickets in on. And I just haven't had one day to sit down. It's too much going on. I went to that meeting and it was supposed to be, I didn't know what it was supposed to be. But I know it wasn't supposed to be 8 hours. I get up, I walk out there at 4. I go out there and it was just 5 hours. Standing in a line, sitting down, bad air conditioning. All it is to fight for something that seems like it should be a no-brainer. This is awful. I need one day. Monday it was the car, Tuesday it was the meeting. By the time I got home it was 1 a.m., 2 a.m., almost 2 a.m. And then I had to throw the video together, throw the other videos together. I'll probably be taking this one and stitching. I can't do that. I can't do anything until, because last night's video, so my gaming PC and my video editing PC are both occupied. So my 3 days off, I'm already gotta go back to work tomorrow. And that just sucks up the whole weekend. And then next week, there's the bathroom remodel. On top of the bathroom remodel, there's going to be, on top of the bathroom remodel, there's a meeting for the master plan for the Love Field and Good Neighbor thing. And I'm going so I can mention, hey, I got a ticket that they sent over to y'all. Something else has gone on a week after that. I can't remember what it was. Well, all my Tuesdays are occupied with these meetings that you got to say something. What's going on? I can't remember. Oh, it's the redistricting. So they're redrawing the maps and they're having a meeting about that. Is it a dog or a cat? It's funny, I think I hear jet engines, but at the same time I hear all this traffic bullshit. I need to stop reporting these. I'm listening to ABBA. Whew, somebody needs to get their brakes changed. Waterloo, huh? But I'm just thinking about it. There was a Swedish band, but the English and the thing was flawless. They actually speak English. And I was thinking, this is all this is in the context of like 30 years after the Marshall Plan and the United States rebuilding Europe, and that's really when it started, man. The Americanization of the world. You got Scandinavian countries where the people would rather speak English than their own native languages most of the time. And I was like, well, I guess it makes sense. English was a hodgepodge of so many different conquering nations. You had Roman influence. You had Scandinavian influence with the Vikings. And what's that third group? I mean, the French are pretty much the same thing. They were the axe throwing. That's a private jet. All right. Multiple private jet takeoffs after 11. What do you think? I think it's just a pacifier for a baby. There's no milk, there's no meat, there's definitely no teeth. I think I go to all these things and I do all this stuff because they say they want to hear something. What they really want to do is just test the waters to see just how angry everybody is. And that's what Tuesday was about. Maybe they were hoping for a nice quiet board meeting and then they push this thing through. Now here's the thing that's going to happen. I already know it's going to happen because it happened in Irving when they were trying to push through the casino. Is you had all these people show up and voice their concerns, and then they're going to try to hold a quicker or silent or dirty meeting to vote on it, thinking that nobody's going to show. But no, I can hear it through my headphones. I'm playing hip hop at almost full volume on my bone conduction headphones, and I hear these jet engines roaring off the. Well, it would be nice to know if I wasn't the only one complaining. Like I put all that stuff in on the app, and then like 5 other people have also been putting stuff in on the app. It's not going to change anything. We go to those meetings and there's a bunch of old people that are curious as to what's going on, but they aren't angry. I hope one day to go into a good neighbor program. I know it's not going to happen, but it would be nice. It's a nice dream to have. I go into that meeting and it's standing room only. And they aren't going through the nice, pretty little presentation. They're just getting yelled at. Hey, man, I'm tired of these things going off. 13 flights after midnight. You know, I need to do something about that noise. Now, the thing about the DART meeting is, I went there, and everyone would say where they were from. I think maybe there was one other person from Northwest Dallas. No, he was West Dallas. I was like, was I the only one? The only one that went up there and made a fool out of himself by just bumbling into a microphone? I wasn't expecting to go up there and say anything earth-shattering. I thought about writing some stuff down, and then I looked at all those people saying this, pretty much echoing the same thing, and I said, you know what? Everybody else had it pretty much covered. I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna talk about my one point, and then I'm out of there. I don't know how solid people think my one point is. I'm just telling you what I see from as an observer. I wanted to go into the junk cars and the dealerships and what I see. The people I talk to have multiple DUIs, and they not supposed to be driving, but they're driving. Because what else are you gonna do? You know, all the raggedy cars that you see now, multiply that by 10. Sorry, I'm trying to make a point, and the music's been good. Right now they're playing the theme from Chrono Trigger with the main boss. It's a weird piece. It's haunting, but it gets you revved up. It says there's some kind of sample of screaming, some kind of monster scream, and then it goes into this weird little counterpoint thing that alternates between the stereo channels, so it's disorienting. Oh yeah, it's a full moon tonight. Then they're the werewolves. But yeah, I just mumbled what I was saying. Hey, might want to check into that. Just like I went to the police meeting, and the police meeting, or the police chief meeting. Maybe I'll post that video someday. No, I told Alex I wasn't gonna post it. I was waiting for him to say something, and then he didn't say anything, and I was like, what is it that you want me to do? I go to these things, I record the stuff. The DISD meeting was probably the only one I was able to post. And now I realize what it is. It doesn't matter if I posted to YouTube. What he was checking was, he was seeing how people react when a guy comes up there with a camera. Suddenly everybody's on their best behavior. Suddenly the public training, you know, the public relations training starts to kick in. Suddenly they turn into the people who are doing what they're supposed to be doing, instead of just telling him no. That's the thing that's exhausting, is I don't have time for a lot of things. And then I have to sit here and fight with the city of Dallas. I got a couple of tickets that I have to sit here, and as soon as I get a chance to get some daytime footage and post it, I'm going to send a reply email saying, hey, they closed this out saying they didn't see anything. Are you telling me you don't see anything here? And that's the thing that's bugging me, is I have to fight 2 times and 3 times, and then eventually I get a hold of somebody who says, oh yeah, we'll take care of that, Mr. Young. The construction sign off of Denton. The exit sign, which now that I see it, I was like, boy, there was a big missing chunk there. It's so highly visible, and then on top of that, it tells you, you know, like I said, people were missing that exit. And what would make me laugh, it's not going to stop accidents. It's just, there's too many, like I said, there's too many stupid people trying to take that curve too fast. That might be what I had to put a request in. Can y'all put some kind of speed control over there off of Lemmon and Shorecrest? In the year I've been doing this, I've seen a light pole knocked down, traffic light, guardrail. What else was it? That was pretty much it. That was enough. How many accidents do they have to keep having there before you guys sit there and say to yourself, you know what, maybe we need to fix that? And it's dangerous, because what happens is you go down Lemmon Avenue and it's straight, and you're going downhill and you catch some momentum, and You hit that curve suddenly, man, and it just wipes you out. I wiped out down there on an icy patch, driving about 30 miles an hour. I guess they were supposed to block this off, and then they got it kind of sitting here. Anyway. It's still, oh, wait, they're putting two houses together over here? Huh. I keep trying to tell people that Metroid felt like a survival horror game, and people are like, no, it's a sci-fi movie. And I was like, yeah, but the music, the tone, and the fact that you would have random boss encounter, or what felt like random boss encounters, made it feel like a horror film. The haunted ship. There's one part where you're fighting this little mini boss in the fire area. Was it Norfar? You're fighting him, and he goes off into the lava, and you're thinking, okay, it's fine. And then all of a sudden the wall busts open, and he comes through the wall. He's pretty much dead at that point, but it still it jars you a little bit. You beat Mother Brain and you think, okay, that was easy. I was like, that was anticlimactic, and then all of a sudden Mother Brain turns into a giant reptile looking T-Rex thing, and she's got a terrifying scream, and in the background you just hear that piano sample when they're dear dear, or it's organs. It's an organ sample, and it's just discordant. The notes are off, or they're not off, they're playing a chord that sounds that's in conflict. It's hard to talk over John Legend. I mean, it's a nice little trickle. Okay, so that answered my question as to why they were able to spray paint on that wall, even though this dude's got these loud ass dogs. No, I just think about how people pay for those marquees. And it's really more of a status symbol than it is. Sometimes, like I said, if it's a community center, it can share useful information. But most of the ones around here, they're just clocks or pushing out information that's obsolete, you know, that's old and stale. Anyway, and then half the time they're broken. Well, I was thinking about how they put the one over there off of TJ. I've had nothing but hits tonight. I had Lavros, I had the Metroid stuff, John Legend. Right now I'm listening to the soundtrack from Marble Madness. Marble Madness was a weird game. And the cool thing about it was Atari. I think it was Atari. Atari was trying to do a proof of concept. And they made a bunch of these games to where you used a roller ball to control the character. And I think that genre wasn't truly appreciated, fleshed out, or done well enough. You know, now we have mice. And you can come up with a mouse game that I'm pretty sure there was one that came out where you're a fluid. No, yeah, I played that game. You're like a fluid, but it's a side scroller. Most of the games that I used to play back in those days, they were isolinear. They were top down. There's only one game that I saw that was kind of a first-person shooter that you can use a trackball on, and that was I think it was called Balls of Steel. No, Balls of Steel is a pinball game. It was some game where you're in a dungeon and you have to push this thing around and you have to set off all these puzzles, and it's got like an ancient Inca. It's like somebody took Tomb Raider and pinball and put them together. Well, that sets off all kinds of red flags. No, I think this no, just like this damn thing. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it randomly butt dials, which doesn't make sense because it's sitting in a pocket. It hasn't moved all this time, and then suddenly it starts to move. No, like I said, I'm not, never buy a Chinese phone. I want to buy you know, I would like to get an American phone, or not American phone, but at least a phone that doesn't have some kind of dubious spyware possibly on it. I was going to get a rugged cat phone, but they don't make them that have the latest version of Android. All these stupid rugged phones, and they don't have the latest version of the operating system. So there's security vulnerability. So if you want to know where to hit somebody, go after the construction companies, go after the people out on the field who have like the corporate phones, because a lot of these corporate phones don't have the latest software on them. That's the problem with being out here, is you can't just grab any phone and start working with it. And now that I think about it, it could be acting like this because we just had a rainstorm, and I haven't powered this thing on since then. Maybe it's a little waterlogged or something. What makes me laugh? I used to come by this house and it had a Mexican flag draped all on the, over there. Trump himself caved in when it came to immigration enforcement. He wasn't going to put in E-Verify, and suddenly he stopped cracking down on hospitality and farm workers. He swears he's going after the criminals, but in your eyes, I thought everybody who came to this country legally was a criminal. Donnie the hypocrite. The grandson of immigrant parents. Cracking down on immigrants.